Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, where are my game sounds? Yeah, they're just lower. But we'll go with it. We'll boogie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASL cast. Well, actually, I guess this is the... Welcome to the BaseTradeTV cast of the ASL qualifiers. There you go. This is not our tournament, but we will be streaming their qualifiers. I explained why earlier, but the TLDR is they want to get the word out that they are back on Twitch. ASL, of course, fantastic people. I've met Saber at a couple of different events. He is just genuinely a very nice, very lovable guy, and he's the one who runs ASL. They have pretty large prize pools, and this one for the Prime season is going to be baseline $3,000. But when I say baseline, that's of course because we can increase that with Maturino. But more on that later. Spawning here on the bottom left side of Dusk Towers, it's going to be the Red Protoss TAiLS. Of course, whenever you see this happen, by the way, guys, this is me misclicking the period on the number pad, because I'm very good at pressing buttons. In the upper right is going to be the Teal Terran BIGBOY, who is not, I want to confirm, not parting. I thought for a moment with a similar name, it'd be kind of funny, maybe it was an alt, but with him not being on Skype and him not responding to messages, I'm pretty positive it's not parting. Ben was going to confirm it's not parting. But anyways, TvP to start the series today with a best of 3 isn't too bad. We've seen this go a lot of different directions, but unfortunately most of that, for TAiLS' sake, is usually downwards. I really like TAiLS. He's been around for a very long time. But every time we've seen him recently, he's... Well, I guess... No, I take that back. One time he did make it to the finals where he fought against BCQD, but then also died over there. So, again, like, he's been in a bit of a funky spot. But I got some faith. Maybe we'll see some cool stuff out of him here now that we're on the Korean server. Because most of the time we see TAiLS, it is off server, it's in Europe, there's latency, it's terrible times, yada yada yada. This starts, this qualifier started, by the way, at the same time the Alima League usually does, and that tournament's kind of catered towards Koreans, just as a little bit of context. So, right now it's, I don't know, probably the best conditions we're going to see TAiLS haven't played in for a while. Now, it's also worth noting on these brackets, first of all, I know nothing about BIGBOY. This guy could be Chinese for all I know. There's a lot of Chinese players signed up to play. Even though this is the Korean qualifier, we see a lot of people from C, Australia, you name it, and China, but not really many/any Koreans. So I'm not sure what the server restriction is, or if it's just simply like this is the division you'll be playing in. But BIGBOY is either way at least Masters League, here on Korea. So we'll see what sort of fight he can put up on. I want to give a shout out and thank you to Shirashadi. I'm gonna say that name wrong. But thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Brand new! It's nice to see a new sub to kick off my day. That actually feels amazing. And it's going to be your sub number 1,138. So still floating around that 1,100 area. Nice to see. BIGBOY heading across the map with a medevac. It's going to be a Widowmine drop, but TAiLS is going for an observer, so this shouldn't be too problematic. The overcharge alone should be enough. Ooh, I like this second Widowmine, actually. That might just try and walk up the front door. Twilight Council's put in a bit of an odd spot, so right now, BIGBOY, best thing he's going to get with this drop is likely scouting. One of the things that's kind of key to this drop is that information reveal that goes with it. Sometimes you'll get a monster Widowmine hit, and you're like, thank God for Widowmines, as you watch 10 probes die. Usually, though, what ends up happening, and more likely, is you put the Widowmine on the ramp between the two bases, you try and segment off Stalkers. Bit of a bad position there for BIGBOY, because he burrows it right on top of a probe, which does end up splashing 2 of the Marines. And this attack is not getting enough done for it. The medevac's going to go down. He's not killed really anything. Oh, take that back. The medevac might just barely live. The other Widowmine did make it to the main. It got 3 kills, but 5 probes died in total, and the Mothership Core actually lived. Had this Mothership Core died, this would be a different story altogether, but this was a not cost-effective start for BIGBOY, and I guess not a lot of information revealed. He didn't see the robo. I don't know how the fuck he didn't see the robo, but he didn't see the robo. Now, that's not a huge deal, of course, because, you know, there are observers out. He lost the Widowmines. He knows there's detection. He knows there's observers, but yeah, it's the question, like, you know, the Twilight Council's an odd spot. The robo doesn't get scouted. Just in general, things don't look too great here for BIGBOY to start. Liberator, though, might just have something to say about this. Observer, on the other hand, does scout the production kicking up here for BIGBOY at the same time. New pylon. Ooh. Show him a sec. Yeah. Sorry, piece of corn stuck in my mouth from earlier. I had a very late start today. Sorry about that, guys. So, anyways, TAiLS put some of his workers back. And he did, before this gets set up, get the pylon there in the very back just in the nick of time. Unfortunately, though, this appears to be quite the annoying position for the Liberator to sit, as he can't quite reach it. But this really isn't that big of a deal, because right now it's only denying 2 mineral patches worth of mining. The probes that are currently not mining can transfer over to the third with relative ease, and they should be able to go back to work soon. Another Liberator comes out here in just a moment. Going to continue his production with a lot of that bio in the background, though. And Stims, on the way, is going to have that +1, but this is all off of 2 bases. And I guess this is something where right now it's already happening for Terran, but looking at the proposed map, patch changes coming, we're going to see happen a lot more commonly. Because for right now, I'd say when you watch these games, it could be Europe, Korea, North America. Probably a good, I want to say close to 80%, at least 75% of these games are involving Terran players in like very distinctively sticking on 2 bases. BigBoy actually goes to take his third as I say this, though, so that changes up a bit, because if you've got this production going, you can actually just lift this command center off to your third, just try and bully your way in and put pressure endlessly on with an all-in. But it's not the direction he's actually going to take it. So, again, rather than slap down barracks 4 and 5, he takes his own command center. So, BigBoy will try and play this out a little bit. Macro styles. Sure Shot, he says, BaseTradeTV, wait, is my number lower than others I've heard? I thought it was closer to 1,200. Yes, but unfortunately, things fluctuate quite a bit on Twitch. Like, overnight we could easily lose 80 subs, then the next day gain 40, and then lose 4, but then gain 10. It's a silly dynamic. Great Widowmine hit. We'll talk more about that afterwards. The Immortals are going to get focus fire down. TAiLS actually finding himself in quite a bit of trouble. That overcharge missing from the engagement. Where is the Mothership Core? Just chilling over the natural. Oh, this is bad. He's actually in danger of losing several of his gateways. 1 pylon powers what is 5 gateways. There's a Widowmine sitting on top of this too, so you can't even pull probes in to just necessarily build new pylons. He's going to kite back best he can. Stalkers do a blink after all, and overcharge gets popped, but this was all kinds of bad. In fact, Mothership Core also going to go down, and TAiLS, it's not like he's doing aggression on the other side of the map. It's not like he's actually using something elsewhere, and that's what's causing all of his attention to be bought and diverted, but this was a great attack for BigBoy. This caught TAiLS off guard in the worst of ways. He's throwing to 3 pylons right now trying to reset up these gateways. His problem isn't money. Look at his money. 1,300, 1,400 minerals, not a problem. It's the lack of production. That pylon going down was all kinds of nasty. Now the Widowmine gets cleaned up, which means the Stalkers could advance forward if they'd like. They're going to blink over and not quite kill that Liberator. But at the end of the day, TAiLS is left with 15 armies of supply. And look at this rally out of BigBoy. And oh my God, this game is probably so freaking over. The double robos are a nice touch to try and get Immortals. Upgrades look dandy, but this attack just did too much damage. TAiLS is going to die with 1,000 minerals and 700 gas. It's a not good feeling, but even though he's got the gateways powered up, they're on cooldown. He didn't have the time to get the warp-ins he needed. His production is what hurt the most, and it does look like this is going to be the end of this first game. Alright, so people asking, ASL American? Question mark? First off, BigBoy, he takes game number 1. ASL is, well, I guess owned and operated by people in America. 1 sec. I've played the map intro. Anyways, TLDR, go to Match Arena, guys. Use the code. It's going to cost you nothing, and it gives these guys a bigger prize pool to fight for. But today has no prize pool other than a qualifying spot, and I guess I'll touch base on that in a moment. I'm actually just going to go confirm a Saber real quick. How many people actually get through today? How many people get through today? Just 1? I think it's just 1. We'll find out in a moment. But anyways, in the bottom right side of Frozen Temple, it's going to be the red Protoss TAiLS. With his opponent, who I want to emphasize is not parting, despite his name and the nickname, is going to be the purple Terran BigBoy, who is currently leading 1-0 in the series. And confirming now, it's actually 2 people. Top 2 get through today. Alright, so for those who don't know how this is going to work either, the qualifiers lead directly to these group stages. I know Tempo and Jack Attack were casting some show matches that led to qualifier spots, or seeding, excuse me, and then because last night was like State versus Polt versus Bly. Then I think Draenok, I want to say, I can't remember who else cast for them, but anyways, they're going to have a regular season where they have WCS/GSL style groups that you guys can check out. And again, I gain nothing from this. In fact, I'm actually advertising for a competitor, which in every business sense is a terrible idea. I'm just incredibly happy that they're back from Ding It, so I'm happy to help. Saber's a good guy. We're all friends here in StarCraft, guys, and, you know, I'm all for just making this a better place, StarCraft that is. So again, check out their page. I think it's like one of these things has, it's like twitch.tv/Ascended Starcraft. There you go, twitch.tv Ascended Starcraft. Verolios just subbed to the channel, brand new. Thank you so much. Sub number 1139. You are a wonderful person. Thank you for subbing. And as far as this game goes, Frozen Temple probably not going to present a lot of different options for either player. I don't think, not only are neither of the races really too dependent on maps, but neither the players are either. I mean, I've seen one game at a Big Boy. We saw him go for very much just a straightforward push after a bit of harass, and the harass did fail miserably. I just want to point that out there. So the biggest thing for TAiLS that game, and this is where it really sucks to fall apart, but the biggest thing for him was just getting caught off guard by that one drop afterwards. Those 3 medevacs picking off the one pylon, powering everything. I mean, nobody should ever die in StarCraft 2 with 1,000 minerals and 800 whatever gas in the bank. That only happens if you're a shitty mech player with bad macro like Rifkin. Okay? But these guys who are playing professionally, these guys who are trying to actually qualify for ASL, they got to pull it together. Anyways, natural basis mining, and we got that robo starting up once again. I think this is actually not so common. We're seeing a lot more Stargate openers, but if you are really paranoid about Widow Mines, or you've lost like a fair amount of games to Widow Mines, I think going with a robo opener is perfectly fine. You're going to want to be able to just have that detection and that for sure easy peasy defense when it comes to stopping those drops and locking things down. But Twilight Council gets put down as well. I guess I'm thinking back on it too, like, so much of this didn't get scouted, so much of this went unseen, and yet TAiLS still didn't get away with much. But all he did really was play standard in ways that weren't easily notable, I guess you could say. So, just really nothing too shocking. Like, we didn't have a Dark Shrine early, we didn't have anything weird. Just those pylons. Oh god, those pylons. I really should get off this topic, but damn, those pylons, you know what I mean? At any rate, pylons aside, we got a small difference coming up with a tank to possibly push with later. The first drop coming in now with that Widow Mine and the Marines, so again, similar as last time. Stalker, please. There's no pylon here at the natural. Oh, no. TAiLS, why would you not do this? Pulling the probes away is probably his best option. He's got to be careful with that Widow Mine getting that hit, but this was, we're going to straight up call this bad. There should have been at least a pylon hugging that Nexus. If for no other reason for an overcharge. A rather amateur move out of TAiLS, and he's unfortunately feeling the hurt for it. So the Immortal's coming out soon, but the Immortal's actually not the best solution to this situation. Chipping away here at the Marines, just trying to draw them away so we could actually get them into the overcharge and maybe get some shots off. Kills the Widow Mine, makes this a little more manageable, but this has already done the damage it needed to, just in the fact that it denied a significant amount of mining. I would say TAiLS is probably missing about, I'll guess to me about 400-ish minerals, 500, just from the time he wasn't mining on this base while this was going on. Big Boy's also ready to go with round 2. There's a Liberator with this. The tank is going to find the Immortal. Why would you be so overextended like this, TAiLS? What is going on? Mistakes are being made! Not bad start to the fight, with the Immortal going down. He tried to dive in and go straight for that tank. The high ground provision provided by the Liberator means that these Stalkers can't even sit on that cliff, and that's going to be game, and TAiLS going to get knocked out of this tournament. There's no loser's bracket, so yeah, series, set, and match. Pretty much with TAiLS dying here in the natural. I got to tell you guys, like, this is... Maybe this is just his that one matchup. You just, you know, everybody's got that one matchup they just can't figure out for whatever reason. But he's losing to foreigners on it. He's losing to, I don't even know. Big Boy again. I'm guessing he's not Korean but Chinese. could be wrong on this, but there are a significant amount of Chinese players playing the bracket today. I was actually really sad Max had forfeited out. Max said versus Cloudy was set up to be one of the first matches of the day, and I was actually going to be super stoked if that was one of those we could have caught. But anyways, this doesn't end the game here and now, but this killed a significant amount of workers, and more importantly, like the one time ever more importantly, it killed a lot of ooh, nice catch on the Liberator. It killed a lot of the army supply. So TAiLS doesn't, like, he wants to go for a counterattack or something, but he can't. There's going to be a bunker, there's going to be a tank, there's going to be maybe even one defensive Liberator or so. And these Stalkers, which are already almost dead, are just going to get shut down dead in their tracks. Super awkward. Does he have an observer for vision, at least? He's going to maybe be able to blink up to the main. He sees all this with the observer, so he knows exactly what BigBoy has, but unfortunately what he has doesn't quite measure up. Now, he has chronoed out some probes, so he's starting to make up that worker difference, but having been playing from behind, his opponent has the benefit of mules. There's just so many ways that this is not going well for TAiLS. I'm going to just try and pick up a free depot. Get freebies where you can. I mean, it kind of needs to. But that army's going to get pushed back, and BigBoy has just a little too much to contest this. Bobble in chat says, TAiLS dying for no reason, and that's pretty much a literally yes. He is making some clever choices, though, trying to go for the Dark Shrine while behind. I mean, make no mistake, guys, I do not think TAiLS is the type of person to try and throw a game intentionally. I don't imagine there's any high-stakes match fixing going on for the ASL Korean qualifiers. Just mistakes got made, and it's really, really unfortunate because they are such bad and very obvious mistakes. But trying his darndest to recover. The Warp Prism gonna get chronoed out, and I guess some DTs in the main could be pretty good. There are turrets down, but between turrets and scans, DTs just do a lot of damage, and if you're not ready to deal with them right away, they might just be able to focus down a few too many SCVs and maybe even up to that worker count a bit. But I kind of feel like at this point, if TAiLS can deny a third and get his own up, if his opponent's a little bit scared and on the defensive on account of those DTs, like there's a lot of ways TAiLS could actually maybe bring this back. But it's still going to not just be double the army supply for BigBoy. He's got upgrades to go with it. Stim's already finished up. Combat Shields is just a little over a third of the way done. And +1 weapons will be hugely beneficial. That poor Marine didn't stand a chance. These poor Stalkers don't stand a chance. Get out of there, boys. Of course, that Stalker, incredibly low from the first fight, is going to fall. That kind of sucks. Third base on the way, so he's doing his best to try and recover out of this, but again, TAiLS is not a good spot, guys. Dark Templar warping in. They're going to be coming here directly into the main. BigBoy already sees this, and as stated before, this turret's down, so this unfortunately ends up being a very not good investment. As he starts chasing this around, Scan's going to find this. Warp Prism, though, what we just witnessed was the entire army running to the main to deal with 2 DTs. If that Warp Prism just keeps dropping 1 or 2 DTs at a time, and it just keeps bringing back the army over and over and over again, this is all of the time buying he needs to try and get his own shit going on back at home. Let's not forget, too, every time he scans, it's basically losing out on a mule, so about 250, 270 minerals-ish in that region, but not that he needs them, because, again, he is pretty far ahead. With 90 army supply, he pushes across the map. +1 weapons finished, good to go. There might be a force field or 2 ready, but he's not got an observer. He doesn't see this coming. There's an adept in the main now, adept attack, excuse me, but this is really not a problem because, well, worst case scenario, base trade. Force fields on the ramp are going to cut off a lot of that army, but not in a way that I think he wanted to. That army actually ends up just being closer and closer to the fight. Liberator sits up on top of this. Stalkers go down. 4 units remain for TAiLS. I don't know how that makes up 30 supply, but I guess some of that's in the Adepts. Was past tense in the Adepts as they continue to still muck around here in the natural base. But while this goes on, we have the stim to win effect under play, and these tanks, I really like the use of these tanks in this situation. They're not necessarily that good versus Immortals. Well, I say that, and then I caster curse him because he throws them away into the Immortals, but end of the day, I kind of think he's got the ability to make those mistakes, and that's what's kind of key. He does scan, see there's going to be DTs warped in, GG gets called, and BigBoy will take the series 2-0. knocking TAiLS out of the tournament. Now let's see here. What Koreans do we actually have playing? Outside of TAiLS, it's pretty much nobody. Armani's playing. Oh, you know what? We might just wait a moment. Jim and Cloudy might possibly play each other soon. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, guys. I'm going to play a commercial break in a sec, but let's bring the brackets up here. This is actually looking kind of interesting to me. Because this part of the bracket had Cloudy, who is a good player, by the way, and what was going to be Maxhead. I want to watch this. This is 2-0, but that's not the case. It was a walkover. Maxhead didn't show. I don't know Chan Kim, but Jim is probably my favorite to take this. Jim, WCS player, all that good stuff. So we're going to try and get that for our next match. So I'm going to poke. Hello again. Jim wins his match. I will cast you versus him. Alright, so try and get that going. I'm going to play commercial break. See you guys in a couple minutes, I guess.